I'm Chef Char. I'm in kitchen 242 and today we're going to work with my favorite bouquet, asparagus. We're going to be making a cheesy kielbasa asparagus that you're going to want to make at home too. So to start this soup, what you want to do is cut up one large sweet onion, just in a small dice. Along with that, get yourself a bag, 5-pound bag of red skin potatoes. The reason why I like to use the red skins is because I don't have to peel them. I leave the skin on and then cut it up in small dice, and then I throw it in boiling water. I have the different colored bell peppers that I also chop up in a small dice. Along with that, I always have baby carrots starting to go bad in the bottom of my crisper, so I always use them in my soup recipes, it seems like. So cut up maybe a half a bag of a large bag of baby carrots. This one is a 2-pound bag, so about a pound of baby carrots. And of course, the star of the show is going to be fresh asparagus, and they're all over at the stands right now, and they're in the farmer's market. And what you're going to do for this is just, I want you to cut the top about, 1.5 to 2 inches off the top there, and then right at the bottom. Now, you don't want to use all of the asparagus because the bottom, the very bottom, tends to be very woody, as we call it, and it doesn't taste good in the soup. So you just cut up all of your asparagus into the small dice. And what I did is I sauteed my vegetables, and I'll show you right here on the stove. I'm boiling the potatoes, and I have here, I sauteed my carrots and my onions and my peppers. At the very last couple of minutes, I threw my asparagus in there so that it doesn't overcook, because if it overcooks, the asparagus really loses its texture and its flavor. It's not so good. Meanwhile, I started a roux, which is basically even amounts of flour and butter, and this is going to make like a cheesy sauce. What I'll do is I'm going to add, you can add your broth at this point. If you're going to add beer, you can do like a cheesy beer soup. You can add beer to your roux. But this is going to help get my milk and my cheese incorporated into the soup. So, stir that up. And I'm going to start adding my milk and some shredded cheddar cheese. Making a mess over here. When I've added my milk, it starts to look like mashed potatoes. And this is going to be a thickener, but this is going to keep everything suspended in that soup really nice, and it's going to give it a nice thick mouthfeel, and it will also help that cheese to incorporate. And you're not going to see like pools of fat on top of your soup if you use this roux. Quickly dissolve this a little bit more, and then we're going to bring it all together. We're going to add everything to make our soup. Once that cheese is in there, we gotta get this moving because I don't want that to scald on the heat. But you do want to make sure it's melted before you add anything, because it's easier to make adjustments at this point to your cheese sauce. But it's looking pretty good. As you can see, it's just like thick mashed potatoes almost, with a bunch of cheese in it. I'm going to throw this back on the stove, let that melt a little, and we're going to add our other ingredients. So I boiled all the potatoes. Those will go in first. going in. Add these goodies as we go. Those vegetables in there. Alright. I'm going to just mix that in. And if it looks a little thick, which it does to me right now, no big deal. I can add more milk and more broth. We'll just keep stirring. Look at that cheese. Yummy. Alright. And last but not least, we're going to add some kielbasa sausage. And these I sauteed for a minute or two, just to get them a little bit brown and caramelized. And then at this point, all I'm going to do is throw this back on the stove, and we're going to just thin it out a little bit with some milk, and then we'll start eating. Well, we have some soup now. It's dissolved nicely. The cheese is in there and smooth. I don't have any pockets of oil on the top. Thank you to the roux. I used to make this recipe with Velveeta cheese because I always had a hard time with getting my cheese incorporated into the soup. But now, as you can see, I just shared with you the tips on how to make a soup with the roux. And today we're going to garnish it with some fresh chives, which are coming up fresh in a lot of people's gardens locally. And if you really want to jazz it up even more, maybe cook some bacon, crumble that up and throw it on top with a little extra cheese, and voila, we have our asparagus cheesy kielbasa soup.